Hey Tracy, I just had to get this down because it's just giving me this brainstorm. So this is we're recording right now, and this is 9:30 a.m. on Monday, the 28th of September, and I'm going to give you a quick review of this incredible stuff that you've been doing. And so let's go right through what really had me brainstorming outside whilst I was having my breakfast is these figures down here. So let's see if I can keep on blowing this up. Where you went on or off and then back on again, your heart meds for blood pressure. Right. Thank you, Lindy. So you had been, averaging along after we went to 3 points, right? You've been averaging along at 20, 10. So week 16 it was 20. Week 17 it was 10. Week 18 we were back at 20. Okay, so maybe there's a longer term swing going on in there between the weeks. And then when you went off the blood meds, bam, you're up at 30. And then back on again, you're back at 17 and recovered. Now, wow. You went ninja on us. There you go, girl. You know how much data you gave us here? Excellent. So then I began wondering what was going on with all of these readings during that day, and why would it connect to the to the brainstem and the functioning of the brain to the body relationship, right? So I was like trying to puzzle this out, and I think you hit on some really important data. So let's get to that data right now. You see the swinging that's going on in here in week 19, right? Yeah, week 19. And you've got, good 7 hours sleep, 8 hours sleep. And the only thing you changed was the blood pressure, the blood meds. So on it looks like day 19, 9:15, right? Top right there on week 19. You stop the blood meds and suddenly you get a whole bunch of readings, right? And then the next day you got 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 5 readings the next day. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4 readings the first day. Second day you got 5 readings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on the next day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the third day. No, the fourth day, etc. Right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then when you went, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're, immediately the body was, the brainstem was going haywire. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but as I understand from these meds, it's usually a 24-hour cycle for the med effect to drop in your body by 50%. It has a half-life of 50%, right? So already on that first day, I was wondering why you were already suddenly going actually from 9:14 from 0 meds to suddenly 4 meds the next day, even though you still had blood med pressure system, pressure meds in your body. Sorry, getting caught up between blood pressure meds and the MED readings that I'm referring to. So, you get what I'm saying. So there's a major response here. So I was like, well, why would that be? Nonetheless, we've got like more readings than probably you've ever had before in a week. That was 30 readings. And let's just take a quick look. I'm going to scroll down here. Let's take a quick look. I mean, that was more than, well, sure, you're very tight in terms of the readings, but that was more readings, even though you had been at a 0 there. That was more readings than ever before. So it's like, wow. There's a lot of mental energy associated with this activity, is what I'm reading here, right? Stress. So over here, really interesting. This is why I really wanted to make this video and, get it back to you ASAP. It's like, look at the recovery rate here, right? Went back on blood pressure medicine, 921, right? And your blood pressure that day was 135/71. Oh, let's go back to the blood pressure in week 19. I didn't talk about that. These are these figures. Okay, you got basically 149/82, 916, 150/87 on 917. It drops to 145/90 on 918. 149 going up a little bit on 919/80, 149/87 on 919. And on 920, we're 149/83. So somewhere in 150, just under, right? 149 for that week. We don't have the blood pressure prior week, but this is back to normal. So prior weeks, I'm assuming right now, was in the 120 range, right? Over 60s, 70, normal. So, okay, so this is where we go to week 20. Sorry, Lindy, that's a lot of numbers. I've got them all here. So here we go, 7 hours sleep, similar to the previous week. Yeah. And went back on blood pressure medicine, 921, and immediately it drops from 150 average to 135. Bam. Good. In a day? In 24 hours, okay. I'm assuming. Next 24 hours, so 48 hours, I'm assuming here. On 922, you're down at 127/69 again. Right? So, bam, you're almost normal, right? The next day, so this is actually the 1, 2, the third day, you're back to normal. Right? Fourth day, back to normal. Fifth day, sixth day, and the number of meds, or MEDs, went from 30 to 17, dropped in half. So like I was saying, there's a lot of stress associated with this activity, and I think you can work that out as best I can. Anyway, I wanted to jump in and just congratulate on actually creating that data, because this data now proves that you can normalize your blood pressure if you ever do this again, or you ever just start to minimize or incrementally reduce the dosage each day, right? So yeah, so now you know that you can jump back to where it should be in 2 or 3 days. Because actually, if you do it incrementally instead of just going cold turkey, maybe you can get by with 3/4 dose. I don't know, half a dose. Just your body will tell. But I think it's really partly is about training the mindset, which is reflected in these readings, right? Changing that mindset and how that's computing to the rest of the body and the organs and the skeletal structure and everything else that comes with that with that alignment that's going on in there. And of course, when you're doing this sort of work, like on week 20 here, 19, excuse me, when you're doing this sort of work on week 19 at 3 points, that is highly significant, subtle energy work. So I'd expect to witness actually a big shift in the way that your body and the mind activity are in the better handshake. So yeah, that's huge. So I also noticed like this popping up the knee, which one might expect in this sort of situation. You know, the balance and the leading forward, etc., etc., and the relationship of the ease of moving forward. And so the right knee popped up a little bit to 3 points. And actually, if you look at that in the history, that's obviously a situation that would come forward. But I did want to give you some, maybe a tip that we could experiment with here. And that is, instead of just using it at 77 hertz, jump it up to 200 and then 77 or 140 you have on there. And play with that, just like getting the pain down. Because maybe, not maybe, this is all connected. This activity on week 19, 30 MEDs, highly significant in the way that it's been stabilizing the brainstem activity. And the knee just tweaking out a little bit, right? And I think with the 200 hertz, you would be able to knock down the pain much quicker and help to stabilize the numbers a lot faster over here, should that situation ever rise to this extent again, which I don't believe it is. What this really, all of this is representing is a healing crisis. And yeah, we've got some good data on it too. So let's take a look down here and finish out. Great, 18-6 partial fasting, bam, first goal. Second, stairs, etc. Walk in yard, cold showers, breathing and hold for 12 seconds, stretching, sunlight, sesame oil, and stop blood pressure medicine. Whoa. We did that, and congratulations, Ninja Tracy. Right on. And so I accomplished most of them except the stairs and walk outside or sunlight, as we had, rain. The experiment was not taking blood pressure, showed that I need my blood pressure. Yeah, went up significantly even when you were brushing. So I think that's hugely significant. You know, I would just go back to your normal stuff, let that information, this number stuff over here. I mean, it's like all your sleep readings and everything. I checked this all out earlier, right? It's like, oh, because I was having a brainstorm with Lindy out in the garden, right? And it was like, and I said, listen to this, and it was like, here we go, very satisfied emotionally, sleep and digestion. Good. 9 on motivation, 9 on energy. So little down. To be expected, right? Pain cool. Okay, healing crisis. Very slight pain. So, hey, take your hat off to you, girl. This is wonderful. I think this basically sets us up for another 2-week thing, but I'd be happy to jump on the call or whatever we need to do as well. I'd be happy to get on the call as well, and if we need, or just text me a message. But I think what you've done is absolutely, in terms of like the microcurrent world, when we're dealing with resetting at these subtler and subtler energy levels, energy levels, because you've only got 3 points now, right, on the MED or the screening. When you get tight in there, you are really um, you you're dealing with energy fields that are way out compared to the ones which are at 5 points, say. And so, yeah, good work. I think you've done the work. I think it's just now a time for just like getting back into the goals that you've already got happening. Is there anything else you can think of, Lindy? Oh, and yeah, and I wanted to suggest there's actually two things. But the one thing here is I completely somehow missed that you were on any meds. And if I'd known that, there would have been a slightly different approach. And that would have been by using the vertebra to get the relationships happening with the way that it does MEDs and feeds energy into the spinal column. It would be a really comfortable tool for you. At a really good price on the site, I recommend that you pick it up. And there was one other thing. Yeah, 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 the vision goal stuff. Yeah, you got until Thursday is the full moon, right? So get, regroup your next vision, right? Your next goal set. Take a longer view of it too, and just do some of that sort of work in preparation for the full moon, and we'll use that energy. I'm going to be going up on a lower overnighting, so I'll be sending out your prayers and good wishes and blessings for you and your family from up there, and the other stuff. I'm really looking forward to being under the full moon and the starlight up there. It's going to be amazing. Whew! And so we'll talk. Yeah, if you need to talk, I'm there. If not, let's schedule for a couple of weeks out. Aloha. See if I can find out how to turn this off.